What if you could just completely eliminate all competition and anyone looking for your solution found you as their obvious, logical next step to get to where they wanted to be, whether it's solving a problem or achieving a desire, whatever it is. That's what we're talking about today. Hey there, I'm Penny Kelly, the Chief Profit Catalyst and Prosperity Cultivator here at Marketing Profit School, and I'm so happy to have you with me. These are the things that I teach clients and that I coach private clients through to get better results with things that are already converting and selling, to get exponential growth in their business, 2x, 3x, 10x what they're doing. And this is by special request. This is not the topic I'd planned to talk about today, but I'm seeing this crop up all over the place. So I want you to have this information so you can start applying it in your business. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and click that little subscribe button and the bell. Then you'll get notified when I drop new videos. Usually on Mondays, that's when the new content comes out. Every now and then there might be a bonus one coming your way. We'll see what I can do about that as we progress and I get better in the groove with giving you guys the content. So back to it now. How do you become without competition? How do you make that happen? It's really not as complicated as you might want to make it. I don't know about you, but I can overcomplicate a really simple task. It comes from being like the only girl at the boardroom table and in a very male-dominated field for 20 plus years. And I just think high achievers tend to overcomplicate naturally. It's also really natural. It's human response to make something more complicated when we're not really sure of what the steps are to get there, right? We don't have that roadmap in front of us. I know when I was a kid and we used to take road trips with the atlas with all the maps on it and you mapped out where you were going, and it's nice to have those directions. And that's just often not how running your own business works. That's not how entrepreneurship works. So let's talk about some things that you can do to position yourself as a category of one. So think about that for a minute. Let it sink in. A category of one. It is just you. There is no competition. And to me, I was in the luxury goods business. I was in the fine wine industry. And one of my mentors, our director of education, used to tell us, if you start out selling on price, you've already lost the sale. And this is really true in information businesses and expert businesses and coaching. If you start out by making deals on your pricing, then you're telling your potential clients that you don't really value your services or yourself. Maybe you don't even value the transformation that they're seeking with your help. So I prefer to play around with bonuses instead of pricing. Every now and then I'll do pricing specials like a Black Friday deal. Sometimes I'll do something like a beta for the first group in on something. So that's a little bit different because they're giving you feedback and they're sort of getting a special deal, but you're also getting access to how they're feeling as they're going through it and how they're processing. So let's think about being seen as the best without trying to be better than other people. And that's a real big misconception as well. We're taught like bigger, better, faster, more, right? And that's very much this like bro marketing, very masculine energy and direct response marketing. And I think a lot of those elements are things that just don't feel good anymore. So the way that you can be very good, be the best, think about, Jay Abraham and his theory of preeminence, where you are the only logical choice. And it's all about being different. And Mike Michalowicz even wrote a book about being different, right? It's not about being better than your competition. It's about finding those points of differentiation. And the simplest way you can do this. So again, if we're addition by subtraction, we're taking away things that don't matter and we're focusing on just a handful of things that do matter in that 80-20 approach that is my favorite way to solve problems. If you really dial in that 80-20 approach, it comes down to the marketplace and your solution. And the way we get to be a category of one is what advertising pioneer Eugene Schwartz called your unique mechanism. So this has to do with the sophistication of your market. When Ford introduced a car to a market that had no cars, he didn't have to tell them a whole lot about it, except it got them there faster than a horse, right? And when the first cell phones came out, wow, everybody wanted one. Everybody that could afford one wanted one. And similar through, technology has moved so fast right now. Automobile industry and cell phone industries are some of the most competitive industries in the world right now. So think about what took the automobile industry 100 years of competition. Took a couple of decades with the cell phone industry. And that gives you a glimpse of insight on the opportunities that might lie in front of you, and the fact that everybody else may figure this out at some point too. And in fact, a lot of really big marketers have. That's why if you follow the big marketers and you follow these big multi-million-dollar launches with every person whose email list you're on is promoting the same thing because it's this big launch cycle, then you might see their proprietary name for their success path, their process they take you through, their framework. I call this in my business, name it and claim it. So whatever your process is that you take clients through, give it a proprietary name and give it a name that means something to your prospects or to your business or to your marketplace, something that fits in. In my business, I have the profit pillars. And this is important to me because through coaching hundreds, maybe thousands of entrepreneurs, seeing tons of funnels by running ads for other people and working in other people's businesses and coaching their students and clients over a 5, 6, 7 year period of time, I saw the elements that a lot of these multiple 6, 7, 8 figure businesses had in common. Sort of not the boxes they were checking, but the pillars in their business that were developed, that they were paying attention to. That's where the profit pillars came from, because I saw this common thread, these common elements that the most successful businesses had. And I started teaching my clients this way. And it brought about predictable growth for them and predictable results. And that's really what I want for my clients. That's not what everyone wants, but that's what most of the people that work with me, they're looking for, having some kind of predictable outcomes in their marketing so that they can build a business and build some security for their family around that business. So think about right now, and join, please tell me in the comments below, what is it about your business that makes it different right now? What is it that sets you apart? And how can you frame that in a way that is a selling point for your prospects? Now, in Eugene Schwartz, when he's talking about this, he talks about that market sophistication. And again, when you're first to market, like Ford with car market, right? You don't have to be very creative. And then at that next level of sophistication, you have to be better. And then at the next one is when that different comes out. You have to have a unique mechanism. And then your unique mechanism has to be better or even more different than the competition. And that at that highest level of saturation in the market or sophistication, like automobiles and cell phones, then they're all different elements at play. And that's where you really have to get clear on your communication and connecting, making a bond with your audience so that know, like, and trust lines up with what makes you unique, and they feel like you get them and they're part of your tribe, or they want to be part of your tribe. Our vibe attracts our tribe, right? And that is where having your framework or having your process and naming it in a way that is meaningful for your business and your clients can help also attract that tribe to you. So all of these little pieces play in at the same time. It's an amazing thing to see when we put it together and it starts working. So the thing to remember when you're building this, and I'll say the little bit of think about this as you're doing the work, is a lot of times prospects come in and they're talking to you about working with you, and they kind of know what they want, but they almost always know what they don't want. So keep that in mind as well. So when you're thinking about making statements or writing bullets in your marketing, it's like you can do this thing X without Y, the thing they know they don't want. Maybe that's a problem or a challenge, or maybe it's also like this masculine energy bro marketing stuff that some of us are kind of moving away from now, right? So it could be a lot of different things. You have to determine what works for you. So that's it. That's a lot to process today, a lot to unpack. I just needed to share this today because it seems to be coming up in a lot of conversations right now. So I hope you find this helpful. I will be back next week with another topic for you. Please join the conversation below and let me know what makes you different. How can you stand out from your competition and become a category of one with the thing that makes you different? Talk to you next time.